Today on Investigate TV Plus, America's farms put food on family tables every night.
As workforce gets smaller, farms get bigger, and we need to find every advantage that we can to produce the most amount of yield on a given piece of land.
But the future of farming might be a harvest of technology fueled by two words: artificial intelligence. We examine the cost and benefits as the machines become more prevalent.
Plus, extreme heat can leave pregnant women vulnerable to serious health risks.
I've been drinking plenty of water, trying to keep as much sun protection on as possible.
We uncover the threats to mothers and babies and strategies to stay safe in the sun.
Then, introducing Mr. Fix-It.
I'm just innately curious about how do people make things.
How one volunteer's work helps families on their paths to owning a home.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Agriculture has long been the backbone of our nation's food supply, but amidst labor shortages, extreme weather, and mounting pressure to grow more with less, it's an industry as challenging as it is essential. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm T. Chappelle. However, some farmers we spoke with say they found a game-changing solution they never knew they needed: artificial intelligence.
Experts say it's the future of farming, helping make agriculture operations more sustainable, productive, and resilient.
But not everyone is eager to transform an industry rooted in tradition, with an international study finding just 10% of farmers have integrated AI into their business.
As the technology progresses and fears ease, that number is expected to triple over the next decade.
Reporter Kristen Crowley shows us how the tools of tomorrow are reshaping the farms of today, with groundbreaking tech so new, some of it's not even on the market yet.
For Michael and Dennis Gallagher, farming is all in the family.
I started farming with my dad when I was a young boy.
This father and son duo manage more than 2,500 acres of corn and soybeans in Iowa.
You think 10 acres is enough?
To them, this is more than just a way to make a living. It's a purpose rooted in responsibility.
We've always said it's not just profitability, it has to be sustainable as well. And so as we look at our farming operation, what are ways that we can do a better job of leaving the land in a better way than when we found it?
It's a philosophy spanning generations for the Gallaghers, but not everything in the industry has had that kind of staying power.
How has farming changed over the decades?
Oh, tremendously. It's just incredible, the advancement in technology.
Dennis says he thought GPS was revolutionary for farming when it came out in the market a few decades ago. But this latest technology advancement may reap even more benefits.
Every 5 foot, there's another camera.
Artificial intelligence. In early 2025, the Gallaghers started using precision planting spraying equipment with built-in AI.
Anywhere you see a yellow dot is a grass.
By outfitting their self-propelled sprayer with intelligent cameras, they can now detect weeds in real time and apply chemicals just where they're needed.
And this was all your equipment before, it just retrofitted it with this stuff.
Yeah, you can see it has some age. It's not brand new.
They say the result is less waste and more productivity.
0.1 gallons per acre. I mean, we're essentially zero.
Before AI, the Gallaghers would treat their entire fields just to avoid missing a weed.
Not only can we cover more acres, but we can also do it way more efficiently.
Now they say the tech benefits their bottom line and the greater good.
We're eliminating, probably over the course of a year, half of the chemical that's going into the land and the environment.
6 different hard drives right here.
But incorporating AI into their day-to-day operation wasn't a decision Michael and Dennis rushed into.
Is it a large upfront cost? Yeah, it really is.
Between the nozzle hardware and supporting tech, they invested about $125,000. But they say they're confident the system will pay off in the long term.
Let's say we save $25 an acre on 2,500 acres, and we just have that average size farm. Well, that's $62,000 a year just there.
When you first saw this in action, what did you think?
Oh, being my age, I'm pretty cynical that this can work. I really doubt it, but I cannot believe how perfect this has been.
The cutting-edge technology is just one of a number of AI-driven tools in development to help increase efficiency, sustainability, and yields.
We are going through an AI revolution in agriculture.
At Iowa State University's AI Institute for Resilient Agriculture, they're bringing autonomy to drones and field robots.
They can carry sensors that we can navigate the field and collect information about the crop health, for example, or crop status, in a way that is not possible with traditional, more conventional tools.
Professor Ashish Singh says the technology can map fields and detect plant diseases and weed growth, and it can do it better than a trained farmer.
There are also cameras that are in the wavelength that are beyond what human vision is. And those types of sensors allow us to get data in a faster time frame, as well as get data or information that is not possible just with a human observation.
And while the price tag for some equipment may be high, he says he sees real potential for farms big and small to benefit from AI.
There will be different scales and tools that would cater to different types of crops, different types of production system, different types of sizes.
Ashish and his team partner with Iowa farmers to make sure the tools they're building are in fact catering to their priorities.
I look at using this technology as an investment and not as a cost.
Rob Ewald is a former president of the Iowa Soybean Association.
As workforce gets smaller, farms get bigger, and we need to find every advantage that we can to produce the most amount of yield on a given piece of land.
And labor shortages are just the start of it. Farmers are also up against harsher weather patterns that threaten crops and rising labor costs, which the USDA projected in early 2025 to hit a record high by year's end.
It's going to get really wet out here.
But Rob says some are hesitant to embrace autonomy in agriculture.
I think it's concerns about the unknown.
Even so, he believes it's a challenge the industry can overcome.
Farmers, if they can see benefit, if they can see a financial advantage to adopting this technology, they will do it, and they will come along.
Agriculture is fundamental to our existence. So we need to make sure that the most modern tools and technologies, including artificial intelligence, is available.
Are you thinking 200 gallons?
Back at the Gallagher's farm, Dennis says it's hard to believe how much the industry has changed over the years. He's grateful to have a front row seat.
Years ago, we spent 200-300 hours a year in the bean field trying to pull every weed, okay? Now, Michael can actually drive that sprayer over 1,000 acres in one day and pinpoint every weed that's still out there, and probably do it on a tank of chemical, 60 acres. Isn't that amazing?
A father and son driven by passion and progress. They say their ancestors would be proud.
I wish they could see it today. I mean, just the importance of family and then watching my son take over and be able to do the same thing and continue to just be a good steward. It's really neat.
Experts say the technology has developed rapidly in recent years. And get this, there are even self-driving tractors. In January 2025, John Deere unveiled its new fully autonomous tractor for orchard blast spraying.
Today, we're bringing autonomy to high-value crops.
Over the last few years, Russell Michael has been helping them develop a smart machine in his farm in Northern California. He says they'll one day be able to do everything a normal tractor can, like spraying, mowing, disking, and leveling. What would that tractor mean for your industry?
Well, I think obviously the labor part is a huge component. We do struggle with qualified labor and training. But me personally, I think the most exciting thing about autonomy and autonomous tractors in the field is more precision work that we can do. It'll just make me be able to farm better, more economically, and safer.
John Deere declined to speak on camera, and the company has yet to announce an official release date. But Russell says they've indicated to him they are targeting 2026.
To help keep this technology evolving, the federal government has established a number of grants and has made investments into AI research institutes focused on agriculture, including the one at Iowa State.
For more information about the programs, visit our website at InvestigateTV.com and search AI and agriculture.
Still ahead, extreme heat and pregnancy. It's something doctors say can put mom and baby in serious danger.
It's very common for us to see patients who come into labor and delivery because it's hot outside.
Why a rise in temperatures can trigger preterm births and other risk to pregnancies.
Plus, it's full steam ahead for the cruise industry. We examine the industry's pandemic rebound and reveal strategies to ensure your next trip is smooth sailing. Millions of Americans deal with it every year, and climate experts say extreme heat events are becoming more frequent and more intense.
Each year, heat kills more people than tornadoes and hurricanes combined, making it the deadliest natural hazard.
According to the CDC, anyone can be at risk to the effects of heat, but some are more vulnerable, including pregnant women.
Their chances of experiencing heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and dehydration are higher than most people's.
And we found in recent years those health risks have increased in parts of the country.
Reporter Lauren Magarino takes us to Missouri to explain the potential dangerous outcomes for expectant mothers.
Hot wind blows in Greenwood, Missouri. On a day where it feels like 100 degrees,
rows are looking good.
Work does not stop on the Rubel family farm, even at 35 weeks pregnant.
I do barn chores between my parents and I. We tackle it every day. We take care of the horses, and we've got 3 goats, and we all pitch in, but it hasn't slowed me down.
A sticky heat dome creating the perfect conditions for today's chore. Raking and baling hay, but also raising pregnancy-related heat risks for Megan Eagleberger Rubel and her second daughter on the way.
I have 4 more weeks to go.
It's very common for us to see patients who come into labor and delivery because it's hot outside.
Dr. Caitlin Linscheid with the University of Kansas Health System creates game plans, if you will, to keep her patients like Eagleberger Rubel safe during the summer season.
Dr. Linscheid and I went over all safety precautions to make sure I could do this safely, and I've got water on the tractor. I've been drinking plenty of water, trying to keep as much sun protection on as possible, and just kind of listening to my body, and the baby doesn't seem to mind. She's still moving and grooving like normal.
But these game plans may start extending into overtime. Researchers with Climate Central recently found extremely hot days known to trigger preterm births have risen globally over the past 5 years. They call them pregnancy heat risk days, driven in part by climate change.
So the thing we worry most about is preterm labor. So preterm labor is when the body starts to kind of move towards delivery before the baby is full term. And that can happen because of dehydration leading to uterine contractions.
In the U.S., the Southwest is a major hotspot, with Utah adding 23 pregnancy heat risk days. It's the most out of all states. Dr. Linscheid already sees an influx of heat-related health risks in the KC Metro, particularly with patients in their 3rd trimester.
We see an increase of about 16% of preterm deliveries associated with increased temperatures outside.
As for the 1st and 2nd trimesters, she says dehydration driven by heat can increase the risk of early pregnancy loss.
I try to drink, like 12 ounces of water an hour is really like 10 to 12 is what she recommends.
That's one critical recommendation.
Basic things, wearing loose fitting clothing that is kind of billowy and protects you from the sun, wearing sunscreen to avoid those sunburns that can be really painful. Those things are all really important during pregnancy. Just make sure that you're doing it in a way that keeps you and your baby safe.
All important reminders when a bun is in the oven and it feels like one outside.
Still ahead, a handyman's work keeps a recycling program up and running.
We take you to one workshop making a difference in the community.
But first, 2 seasoned cruisers who recently set sail found themselves in rough waters.
And I could show them my receipts. It said, look, this is paid for, this is paid for. And they're like, it's not paid for on our papers.
We explain the cruise confusion to ensure your next voyage sails smoothly.
The cruise industry was one of the most severely affected during the pandemic, and its recovery has been just as extreme.
In 2023, cruise volume rebounded to nearly 20% above the pre-pandemic baseline. That was followed by a record year in 2024 with more than 18 million Americans taking cruise vacations.
2 seasoned cruisers who recently set sail found themselves in rough waters.
We spoke with an industry expert about how to avoid this same scenario on your next excursion.
So yeah, we were looking forward to it. It was like our treat. It was grandma's running away for Christmas instead of grandma hosting Christmas.
Faye Harris and her cousin Dawn love to travel, and going on cruises is their favorite way to see the world.
Well, we get to go different places without a lot of stress to go there. We don't have a lot of unpacking and finding a hotel and getting around.
Whether you're a seasoned cruiser like Faye or booking for the first time, Morgan Dean with AAA says to be sure to shop around and read the reviews.
See what you really want to do. What are some of the things that are recommended at that port of call? What would you like to do while you're there, and go ahead and booking those and watching some of the prices on them around some of the holidays and some of the deal days. You can actually see those drop price-wise.
If you have flexibility while booking the trip, that can help save you money.
You don't have to leave on a certain day, and you don't have to come back on a certain day, and you're not tied to definitely going to these 3 or 4 ports during a tour. You might be able to find some real deals out there where there's some opportunities maybe at the last minute.
Dean says pay attention for deals including drink or internet packages so you can get a lower price point. That's exactly what Faye and her cousin thought they had done, but once they boarded a cruise in 2024, they got an unwanted surprise.
And they weren't terribly kind about it.
She says Norwegian Cruise Line insisted that the ladies had canceled the drinks package and 2 special meals. If they wanted them, they'd have to pay again, a total of $650. But Faye had proof she paid.
And I could show them my receipts. It said, look, this is paid for, this is paid for. And they're like, it's not paid for on our papers.
Faye and Dawn didn't want to spoil the trip, so they paid again. And the cruise line promised to sort it out later and after the trip.
So we went to the Italian and we went to the steakhouse.
When the cruise was over, Faye reached out for an explanation. She says the cruise line told her it considered the matter resolved. Our investigators for this story contacted Norwegian Cruise Line and were told a system error dropped the $650 food and drink packages from Faye's reservation. But that money was then applied to 2 new charges, $118 for trip insurance and $560 to prepay gratuities for the trip.
But still, it was, it was frustrating not to be able to kind of do what we thought we were going to do.
So Faye and Dawn's money wasn't lost completely, just redirected unknowingly, a lesson in monitoring your bill and statements. No refund was issued, but Norwegian apologized and acknowledged they could have been a little clearer with the charges and where they were applied. Some more tips for keeping your cruise stress-free. AAA says downloading the app for the cruise line allows you to check in, review your itinerary, and in some cases make dinner reservations. And if possible, arrive to your port city the day before your cruise to take the stress out of travel.
Still ahead, a retired engineer uses his skills to repair broken items for others in need.
All my life I've been in our factories and seen all the pieces, parts that go into power tools and appliances.
We show you one handyman's journey from designing for well-known companies to volunteering in his community.
One handyman helps his Virginia community in a way you might not expect.
Reporter Ashley Hendricks breaks down Mr. Fix-It's passion for repairs.
For several decades, Habitat for Humanity has changed lives, making the path to homeownership easier for families. A fraction of that important work starts in the back of the Hanover and King William store. Thanks to many donations of gently used electronics and appliances,
How are we gonna do this?
Marshall Johnson helps keep the recycle program up and running. He's been a handyman for as long as he can remember.
Well, I always enjoy seeing how things are made because all my life I've been in our factories and seen all the pieces, parts that go into power tools and appliances.
In his earlier days, Marshall was a product designer for appliance companies like Black & Decker and Home Depot. His designs are even on display at the Hagley Museum and Library in Wilmington, Delaware.
I'm just innately curious about how do people make things.
The 86-year-old is blind in one eye and uses a cane to get around, but that doesn't keep him from doing what he loves.
There's just been so many wonderful people and products. And that's the fun I get here, is seeing what comes in. And through the money that we do receive.
For many years, Marshall has sorted through metals and electronics and then takes them apart to be sold. It's an important part of the recycle program that not only raises thousands for Habitat, but reduces waste in our local landfills.
Don't take this stuff to the dump. Just bring it in here, and people like Marshall will be more than happy to spend their time taking it apart, separating the different metals, and getting it to the metal recycling places so we can make a few dollars for Habitat.
Mark Adams is a volunteer here, just like Marshall, but says he's inspired by his dedication to help his community in more ways than one.
I mean, he gets up in the morning and he's going, either whether he's volunteering here, delivering or taking food from Feedmore to a church in Highland Springs for their food pantry program.
This group of volunteers, Marshall says, has all the right parts needed to building a better community.
What a great story. I think I have Mr. Fix-It's popcorn popper, or at least I did at one time in my life.
I love it. Yeah, he stays young by working there, 3 days a week, playing an instrument too, right?
Stays busy.
Impressive guy.
Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, veterans and first responders see a lot of tragedy during their career, which can send their mental health into a spiral.
They've tried the medicine, they've tried the therapy, nothing's worked.
We take an in-depth look at this growing crisis and a mission to save lives among those who protect and serve.